everyone and welcome back to another Disney vlog. So today we're not going in any of the parks. This is our travel day home, but we're starting off at Disney Village. We're going to do a little bit of shopping. We've got a few hours here, maybe grab some lunch, and then we'll be getting back on the tunnel. Sadly, there's a tax return thing that you can do in Disney Village. If you keep all of your receipts from when you bought merchandise, so it's not food, you can come back to some of the stores here and then you get your tax back. I've also got my Avengers Campus Spirit jersey on. This is the World of Disney. This is the store that pretty much will have everything in it. If you can't find it, it should be in here. So we've got some 100 merch in here. There's a whole Stitch section because Disneyland Paris loves Stitch. Oh, they've got Angel. This is what Ella got me once. Super cute. And then they've got the Cuddles or Cuddlies range with Stitch and Angel. I do think the Angel one is so cute. Even more Stitch. These are the bubble ones. I definitely would have had this as a kid. Absolutely love this one. Then we have quite a lot of 30 things. More here. The 30th Lounge Fly is in here. Some t-shirts, these Mickey ears with Mickey's hat on it. So these are the mini ears that were brought out for the 30th anniversary. I do really like these, but I wish there was a 30 somewhere on the bow, or I don't know. It's just on the label, the 30. But they are really nice colour. We've got some of the Spirit jerseys. So usually the whole middle section is like the kitchenware. I got a really cool mug set from here before. You can do like this Jack bottle. So cool. And of course there's lots of plush. I have a memory of me and Ella, I think it was down this aisle when Zoom Zooms just came out and we were finding lots of exclusive ones that you couldn't get in the Disney stores. There's some more Cuddlies. There's these ones that have got like the big feet, kind of look babyish. They're very cute. And then these are one of my favourite things. I absolutely love these. I actually bought my cat one of these. It was a Figaro one, and I attempted to get this one for my cat Marshall. But yeah, I think the Sven one is my favourite. I think did I see a Sven down here? Yeah, I've not actually seen a Sven before anywhere else, but only in the World of Disney of these, like, I don't actually know what they're called, this range. But the ones with like the big feet and like the big heads. And then there's also lots of dolls over here. These are some of the new princess ears that they've brought out. I think the Tiana ones are my favourite. There's some more of these plush. So we've got one of the Dalmatians, Eeyore, Thumper, Dumbo, oh, and Rocket down here. And there's even more of these little ones that I like. The Bolt one is super cute. There's a couple of new emos. They don't really have any clothes for them, but they've just got Angel, Mickey and Minnie. We only saw Mickey and Minnie in the Emporium as well. I've not seen any others this trip. I do like Angel. I've got Stitch, but not Angel. And there's all the plush that are in the blankets, and then it goes into a bit of Marvel, so we've got some Guardians. Cosmo. The Guardians scrunchies and bracelets that we saw the other day. And then there's so much Marvel stuff in here. Some figures. Plush. Captain America plush. And then we have some Toy Story. Some Marvel over here as well. There's even a Lounge Fly in here. This is one we also saw in the Marvel Hotel. And then there's clothing over here. So these are some of the Spirit jerseys. I know that they've made now the Spirit jersey bucket hats. They are a bit pricey at €40, but they do match. It's like a lilac, and this yellow one I think is really pretty colour for a Spirit jersey. I've not really seen any like this. And of course the matching bucket hat, and some of the lounge flies in the sale. So this is a limited time offer, and even more lounge flies. I feel like this is the first time I'm properly seeing lounge flies in the shops in Disneyland Paris. I've mainly seen them in Walt Disney World. And there's lots of ears near the clothing area too. And in a section that's just near the tills, we've got all the lanyards and pins. We've got some jewellery. Here are all the pins. Some key rings. At Disney Village, we have some little stands that sell food. There's I think we've had churros from this one before, and there's usually chocolate covered strawberries. Annette's Diner's just over here. Such a good restaurant. There's just this drink station here. So there's Annette's Diner. They do really good milkshakes. At the Cool Stop they also have some set menus. You can get the souvenir cups and the shortbreads here, also some crepes. So Disney Village is a lot smaller than Disney Springs. It's pretty much just this. But we're going to head over to the Starbucks to have a look at the Disneyland Paris mugs. There's this Disney store as well. It looks very vintage. I feel like it needs a bit of an update. So this is a little pub, and then here we have Billy Bob's buffet. So what I've seen online from this, it looks like a really good buffet. I'd like to do that maybe next time we come.
Yeah, should we try and do it next time?
I think so. The options were really good. There was a lot of Mexican food. There was like build your own like enchiladas and nachos.
The desserts looked good, didn't they? The red velvet cake.
Yeah. So I'd say have a look at this. Look at some videos on this if you're planning a Disneyland Paris trip. There's a sports bar there that do a really good pizza, and then there's this sandwich place. Last time I went to the sandwich place was about 2015, and from what I remember it was really good. So here is the Starbucks. We have some 30th anniversary ones. They were sold out the other day when we came in. It looks like they're in stock now. So yeah, they've definitely had a restock. So at the till here are all the mugs. When you go into the Starbucks, just make sure you check with the staff if they have any of the mugs, because the other day we went in and there were none of the 30th mugs, and then today we went in, there was no Avengers Campus ones. They had them all under the till, so just double check with them and they might have the one that you're looking for. The Disney Fashion, which is just opposite Starbucks, this is one of the places you can do the tax return. You can also do it in one of the art shops as well. There's a little look inside of Disney Fashion. Pretty much all the clothes you could think of apart from the Avengers Campus Spirit jerseys in here, because that was the one thing I wanted. This is Ella's dress. Someone actually commented on my vlog where this was from when she wore it on my last vlog series, but you can get it in here and it is actually 40% off right now. There are some more 40% off items. I really like these Spider-Man joggers. They look very Halloween-y. And then on the pockets there's half of Spider-Man's face. So here is the tax refund, so you just scan this QR code and then you follow the steps, scan your receipts, and then you should get all your tax refunded. To the left of Starbucks, just down there, is the McDonald's, and then we have a Rainforest Cafe. The balloon is over there, and just behind Rainforest Cafe is Earl of Sandwich. If you keep walking down that way, that will lead you to the hotels, so that's where we went for the Marvel Hotel buffet. So inside the sandwich place, they have some set menus, and they do the Mickey pizza, and they have the 30th mugs. They also have all the cookies that you can get in the park, and these Mickey donuts, the ones filled with Nutella. They have this whole outdoor seating area. So these are the chips. So they're more like chippy chips rather than fries.
Proper chips.
And then here is the Mickey pizza, so you can get it in Disney Village as well. I also got a iced tea with that. So the meal deal was €15. They did used to have a really nice veggie sandwich with pesto here, but that was back in 2015. It looked like the only vegetarian options was a cheese pizza or a pasta. So Dad fancied a sandwich from the New York sandwich place as well. He went for a tuna one. And it's a meal deal, isn't it, Dad?
Yeah. It was €10.
So it comes with a drink of your choice. I just got myself a little chocolate Mickey beignet. It's quite good to know that you can get some of the snacks that you can get in the park also in Disney Village, so you don't actually have to go into the park. Especially like today, we don't have another ticket to go in, but we can still get the snacks that we love. Here's a little look at the Avengers Campus Starbucks You Are Here mug. So me and Ella both got one of these, and this is the Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary one. So it's got Phantom Manor and School Rock on it, which are two of my favourite things about the main park. It's really pretty. Here's a little look at the other side of the Disney store with the proper vintage Donald. Ella's gonna got some chocolate strawberries from the little booths in Disney Village. Are they good? I don't like chocolate strawberries, so I like them separate. Dad, what did we just witness leaving Disney?
I don't want to talk about it.
We was walking out the park, well, out of the Disney Village, and some woman in front of us in a little sundress and sun hat absolutely dropped her guts. It was like saying, oh, the magic is over, you're going back home. Our last impression of Disneyland Paris is a woman dropping her guts. But the people around were hilarious, laughing. It's like nothing I've ever witnessed before. We're just stopping at the toilets before our journey to the tunnel. How long of a drive is it, Dad? About 3 hours?
About 3 hours.
Yeah, about 3 hours back to the tunnel. We've got a lot more shopping now. We've got plenty of Starbucks mugs. Mum and Ella went and got an Ella sandwich to have on the way. And then Ella's done some damage as well in World of Disney. And yeah, what do you think, Dad? It's been good, hasn't it?
Fantastic.
It's been a really good trip. We tried so many new things, different restaurants, which I'll do a whole rundown of them later on when we're home, because there was some good and bad experiences with them. And it wasn't too bad, but just things I think that you should know if you want to book these places. But yeah, some were better than others. I'll see you on the way home. Now we're on our way to the tunnel. I'm about to eat my Mickey donut. We're here at the tunnel service station. We've got a little doggy toilet here.
They don't give a shit about the zebra crossing. Be our guest, be our guest.
You suddenly woke up. We've napped the entire way. It's cute here, LeShuttle passenger terminal. The little seating area. Got a Burger King, Harvest Market, toilets, and of course, the best thing here, Starbies. Should we get one? Should we get one? We've got a duty free. We can maybe have a freshen up with some perfume samples. Just to the side of the duty free, we have a WH Smith. And then down here is where you do your tax return. So here's the machines. You can choose your language and then you scan your barcode and then you get your money back. Just coming to WH Smith and we've got all these different Arizonas. I'm gonna get the classic. Ella's found this really pretty Starbucks cup. So they also have the We Are Here mugs. They've got the France one and then they have the Lille We Are Here ones. They've also got these France cups. In the duty free they've got Toblerones 2 for 12, but in the WH Smith just next door they are 3 for 11. Here are the Toblerones at WH Smith. Family lounge over here near the entrance. And Dad's gone and got his beers. He always seems to buy beers every time we come here. Dad, how much cheaper are the beers when you buy them here?
A little bit. This was €9.80 for 24 small bottles, so it'll work out about 40p a bottle.
40p a bottle, that's pretty good. Here's a look at the dog toilet again. Didn't really want to film properly because there was people in there with the dogs, but here's a little up close. Got a little poo bin. some grass. It was cute because when we pulled up, oh, there's a water ball over there too, but when we pulled up there was about 3 little dogs all making friends, doing the business. I think we might have parked in the wrong place. There's all these cool cars and then Dad's.
There you go, it's one way or another. I don't know, it's one way, it's only going one direction. You like my style?
Harry style.
Yeah.
You got another one?
He's a pain, I know that. He's a pain.
We're all lined up.
Got the Mercedes hubcaps.
And then we're in the large vehicle queue. We went through security, we had our passports checked, and our car got swabbed this time. So I quite like that though, because you know it's safe. Ella's got a Starbucks. I ended up just going for the Arizona green tea. Yeah, we're just gonna wait in this line. Some gross manky feet on a poster next to us. It's not what we want to see whilst we've got 30 minutes on here. You definitely need to bring a fan with you because this tunnel is so hot. We're just arriving now. Yay, fresh air! Just gonna stop at Frankie and Benny's for some tea. These are the vegan wings. Ella got some mozzarella sticks and Mum got some potato skins. Dad's gone for a black and blue burger. Me and Mum have both got some halloumi salad.
It's a BBBB.
And then Ella went for a chicken and halloumi burger. Looks really good. The halloumi looks perfect. So we're now all back from Disneyland Paris, and I wanted to just let you know a little bit about the hotel and the buffets and what we liked and didn't like. So I'll start off with the hotel. If you watched my travel day vlog, then you know that we stayed in Hotel B&B. It isn't one of the Disney hotels, but it's on Disney property, but it just means that it's a lot more affordable. Yes, it's a bit of further out, but it's still on the bus, only about 5 minutes. We've stayed there multiple times and we enjoyed it every time. We've never had any issues, but this time we did have a few problems. On the first night after we'd watched Delight in Dreams, we waited for the crowd to die down like we usually do, and then we headed to go on the bus. And obviously it's so crazy, that area, but there's always a sign that says all the hotels and which bus stand you're going to be at, and Hotel B&B wasn't on there, so I was a bit confused. But when we checked in, they gave us a QR code to scan for an app that shows you all the bus times, so we did take a picture of that before we left, and we had a look and it said that the next bus was 8 AM. So obviously we realised that we couldn't get a bus now. We did ask around. My dad asked someone on a bus that stopped. It seemed to be that no one knew where our bus stand was. Ella decided that she was gonna get an Uber. We had a look at the Uber app, but no one was picking up our lift because obviously it would only be a few minute drive for them. There's no point, they wouldn't really get any money from it, so no one wanted to accept it. So at this point we decided we're just going to walk home because there's no other way we can get back. And luckily the weather was fine, so it was a nice walk. It said it was about half an hour, but it ended up being maybe about 20 to 25 minutes. And like I quite enjoyed it, but like I say, if the weather was bad we wouldn't have really liked that. And obviously it's just something to bear in mind if you can't walk far distances or you can't walk at all. Like it's not a very good thing that they did, is just have the buses end before the fireworks finished, because that means that you can't see the fireworks on your trip, and you're gonna, you're in Disney, you want to see the fireworks. And so we walked all the way back, and then we got there and we mentioned to them on the desk about how we had to walk and there was no buses, and they told us that the buses ran till 1 in the morning. So we did show them the app and they didn't really know anything about it, so we decided then the following days that we were just going to park each day, which means paying for parking each day, and obviously some people aren't even going to drive there. Like, we did drive, but some people are obviously going to get the Eurostar or you know, fly there. So, you know, it's just something to consider if you're thinking of booking that hotel, because like I said, we've not had problems before, and I don't know if it's just because of after COVID, maybe things have changed, because as well, I never went down for breakfast because I always like to eat the park food, so I get ready whilst mum and dad go down for food, and they said there was a lot of issues with bags. You're not allowed to actually take bags where you eat, and I'm guessing this is because people package up food for the lunch and take it into the parks. I'd understand if it was more so like Disney Cruise Line where you don't take your luggage in, but you can still have a handbag, but even if you had the smallest handbag you weren't allowed it in, and that's just something else to consider. Like, if you know, you might need medication and things, like you need to have things on you and you're not actually allowed to take that in. So mum and dad were going each day just with, obviously my dad had his pockets and that, but my mum was just holding a phone. And the thing is, I would like it because I like to carry my lip balm and things. Like, I don't think that was the best change that they've done, but it probably is saving them money because people aren't taking food into the parks now. The other issue we had was with pillows. So this is actually the first time we've all stayed in this hotel in a room together, because last time we went to B&B we was in separate rooms. Before, when we've been, Ella was working on the Disney Cruise Line, so it was just me, mum and dad, whereas I would just take the pillow from the other single bed. So this time me and Ella, we have to sleep with an extra pillow. So we did ask the housekeeper, and they said you have to go check with reception. So my dad actually got in the queue, and this was on the first day. My dad got, because we was also waiting around because the bus we was waiting for was half an hour, which also I thought that was quite bad because in the past we've never actually had to wait that long for a bus. So us driving each day meant that we would just get into the park a bit quicker as well. But yeah, so while we was actually waiting for our bus, my dad went to get in the queue, but it was a massive line, so he gave up on that. And then we asked when we'd walked back. So when we mentioned about the app saying 8 AM was the next bus, we asked about getting pillows, and they said that they've run out. So my dad then, he actually went in the queue the next morning because he wasn't sure whether there might have been a bit of a language barrier. So he asked she was actually the manager, and she checked us in, and she also said that they'd ran out of pillows. So just a little thing, if you do like sleeping with extra pillows, just take maybe one, or you know, if you're going on an aeroplane you might have one of the little neck pillows anyway, but you know, if you're in the car and you've got extra space, maybe think about taking a pillow with you, because I wish that we had done. It's just a bit weird when a hotel says that they've run out of pillows. I don't know, I just think that's a bit weird. But they're the only problems. Other than that, it was absolutely perfect. You know, I love the room layout. If you watched my travel day vlog, you'll see how the room layout is. It's so spacious. Even so, the walk back, it wasn't bad. Like, I didn't find it bad at all. It's just, like I say, the weather. If it was raining, we wouldn't want to walk back. If it was winter time, really cold, we wouldn't. We don't want to leave the park early, so driving was the option for us. We've never had them problems in the past, but they weren't to the point where we wouldn't book it again. We're actually going to stay there next year, so you know, it wasn't the end of the world, but it's just something that I think you should consider when you're booking this hotel. So now on to the food. So on the first night we didn't actually eat at a restaurant, we just had quick service. Then on the second night we went to downtown, which is in the Marvel Hotel, and this was definitely our favourite buffet. We've all four of us had said this is the best buffet out of all of them. The only problem is it's quite hard to book. So what we actually did was, because we couldn't get a reservation for 4, we booked a table of 2 and then 2 tables of 1, because we couldn't even get 2 tables of 2. We went at the time of the first reservation and we told them that we were all booked and if we could have the table together, because the times were slightly out. Like, one was maybe half an hour after the first booking, and then the other one again like another half an hour after, and they were completely fine with it. We got a table for 4 straight away, and even when we went in there was so many free tables that didn't have anyone sitting at them for a long time. I think maybe they don't put as many reservations on the app so that people can actually book it and have a walk-in. I'm not too sure, unless people have cancelled, but yeah, it was a bit weird how many free tables there actually were. So if you do really want to eat here and you haven't got a reservation, just see, go on the day. Even if you go in the morning, obviously our hotel wasn't in the strip to walk around to, you know, past the Marvel Hotel, but if you are, you could always just pop in the morning and check if they've got any free space. The service was amazing, drinks constantly refilled, the food was the best food I've ever had on a Disney buffet in Disneyland Paris. It could even be the best one overall. My favourite buffet was always Trails End, and obviously Trails End in Walt Disney World is no longer a buffet, and even so I think it could be better than Trails End when it was a buffet anyway. I really hope we can get a reservation for next year, as we're going with my auntie, uncle and cousin, so there's going to be a lot more of us, which when there's a bigger party it's harder to get a table. Obviously we only managed to get tables of 1 and 2. For a table of possibly 8 of us, 7 or 8 of us going, yeah, it's gonna be quite difficult. My only complaint with this buffet is the fact that you have to leave the park. That is it, but obviously you can go back to the park. We decided, because we had quite a late booking, that we weren't going to go back after, but yeah, that's literally the only complaint for it. The food, we had all these like stone-baked pizzas, and if you watch my vlog I did a whole like walk through the buffet so you can see everything. And the desserts were the best desserts I've had on a Disney buffet. We had Thor's chocolate hammer, Groot mousse, I'm trying to think, the little peanut things with these like Mickey shaped peanut desserts, which were the best things. So yeah, definitely worth it. It was €45, and yeah, best buffet ever. Definitely book that one. The night after that we ate at Plaza Gardens, so we did actually eat at 3 buffets, which is probably a bit extreme, but we do love a buffet. You definitely don't need to book that many buffets on one trip. 1 or 2 is enough. But yeah, Plaza Gardens was actually our favourite place to eat a few years ago, so we actually again recommended this to so many people. We've been with the family that I'm going with next year. We've been with them a few times and they also loved it, and they had pizzas, and I remember they had veggie pastas. If you saw my vlogs, Disneyland Paris vlogs from the time before, then we did eat there then, and it wasn't that good because it was a set menu and the options weren't very good. The puddings were good though, but yeah, we said then we won't go back unless it is a buffet. Obviously they reopened the buffet and it just wasn't as good as it used to be. There were still really good options. Like, I found that I ate actually quite a lot of healthy things, and maybe I actually needed it because the night before I ate a lot of like carbs and cheese and just overloaded on like heavy foods, whereas this day I was actually eating more like, there was a spelt that was really good and a lot of the salad, and like I say, it was still really good. It's just not what we was expecting. They definitely have room for improvement, but the puddings are so good. There's these little chocolate Mickey cakes that they had, they've always had them there. They used to have them at Inventions as well, which is in the Disneyland Hotel. I've not been there since 2018 I think it was, so I don't know if they are still there, but yeah, they used to have the Groot mousses. But yeah, them Mickey chocolate cakes, I could eat about 5 of them, maybe more. But yeah, the puddings are really good there. And like I say, the pizza, I can't believe they got rid of the pizza. I feel like that's the one thing you need on a buffet is pizza, because you know that everybody likes pizza. But then the thing that did put us off, like I said, the food was fine, like I would go back for the food, but the main thing that put us off was the service. As we arrived, there was a cast member that was shouting at people, shouting at kids. Just not very magical. It used to be free refills on the drinks, and now you get your first one free and then the rest you have to buy. But it was a bit like we were put off Agrabah because the same thing happened where you had to then get back in the queue. It's the queue that you actually were in to get into the restaurant. You have to get back in that queue to order drinks, and yeah, that happened at Agrabah, and I remember it was ages in this queue just to get a water. Definitely need to do better drink service. This is the one thing that's putting us off. My dad and my sister got in the queue to get the drinks, and it was about 25 minutes to half an hour after we actually got our drinks. I'm someone that drinks a lot as well. I'm the type of person that gets a jug of water everywhere I go and I drink the whole thing, so that one drink isn't enough. But then what they do at Plaza Gardens is once you've ordered more of your drinks, you get a little receipt thing that says the drinks on it, but you've got to wait till you see your server to give them that, so then they can go get you the drinks. And this is what took a while, is because obviously he brought us the drinks when we first got there and he took our plates away, but we didn't see him for 15 minutes. We were trying to look for him, and then we finally spotted him and my mum was waving his ticket around because, you know, to show him that we need more drinks. And he did come over and take the ticket, but then it was another like 10 minutes after that until we actually got the drinks. And then to top it off, he didn't take the caps off because some things had like, you needed a bottle opener. And yeah, and then we had to find him again, and then it was like another 5 minutes until that. That's just something, if you feel like you are going to drink a lot, maybe order your next set of drinks at the time so that you've got 2 drinks there. I know some people probably don't drink a lot, but I'm someone that drinks so much. So if we do go again, I think I will order another water at the time, so I've got 2. And another thing was, where we were sat, there was like a stand with a big tray on it, and they kept putting the mucky plates there, and they weren't ours, they were just other people's plates. And there was a point where they were really stacking up, and like that was right next to us and we could see it, and I just think they could have just taken them away. Like, you know, it's a bit off-putting when there's people's like eating food next to you. Something that is really good is the location. Obviously you're in the main park, and if you sat in the right place you'll be able to see the castle. And what they do now is character dining, so we actually got like the last booking before it turns into character dining. Ours was €45, so that's including the drink, for the one drink, for no characters. I'm not too sure on the price with characters, obviously it is quite a bit more. And it is quite good that you now have the option, because when we saw that it was changing, obviously this was our favourite buffet and now it isn't, but it was a bit like, oh no, because sometimes you don't want the characters. Like, as much as, yeah, we love meeting the characters, when you're eating sometimes it can be a bit annoying. Like, I do enjoy a character buffet, but as well you just got to think about the cost of it. Like, it's always is a lot more. Like, Inventions is a character buffet, and you know, we would always choose Plaza Gardens over that one because sometimes you just don't want to meet the characters. By the way, I've wrote everything down with my Disneyland Paris pen, so if I'm waving this about, ignore it. So then the final day we went to Pim Kitchen, and I was the most looking forward to this one, obviously because it was a bit different, and all the little gimmicky things of the blue mayonnaise and the drinks in like beakers and salt and pepper in test tubes. Like, it just looks so cool, and it didn't disappoint. Like, it was amazing. When we first arrived there was a little bit of a problem, but nothing major, and it's just where we were seated. It was very loud. They hadn't cleaned the table when we sat down. It was just the floor was covered in food, and which is a bit off-putting when, you know, we put your bags on the floor, and like when you step in on like whole bits of food, it wasn't even just like one singular thing, it was like whole bits of things. Obviously kids sat there chucking it on the floor, and you just think they would have maybe cleaned that up before they sat someone there. And then something that, it didn't bother me so much, but my mum thought it was a bit off-putting, was the fact that the door was open to the kitchen, so they were just constantly in and out, but they just left the door open so you could see all like behind the scenes and like, again, mucky plates and things. But it didn't bother me because we weren't actually that close to it, we could just see that. Maybe in me I wouldn't have asked to move, but I'm quite glad that my mum asked to move, because then we got put somewhere a little bit tucked out the way, a lot quieter, cleaner, and I really did like it where we were sat. They had no issue with moving us, and so if you aren't too happy with where you're sitting in any of these places, just ask and see if they can move you. When I did first get there and I filmed the buffet, so like I say, I filmed every single buffet, a full tour of it all and everything that they had to offer. But when I first got there I was a bit like, oh no, like for vegetarians, is this gonna be too, like, is this gonna be okay? But as I started reading things, I realised a lot of the things were actually vegan. They had like vegan crab cakes, vegan steak, I can't even think now what else there was, but there was quite a few vegan things. I'm just vegetarian, but if you are vegan, know that there is quite a bit of things, and they had a lot of salad as well. The standouts for me were definitely the pasta. So they had like a pasta making station, and there was a tomato one and a creamy one, and both of them I absolutely loved. I loved the mini fries, the breaded cauliflower, and they had a vegetable crumble. I actually enjoyed pretty much everything I ate. Like, it was so good. I say everything, but I actually didn't enjoy that crab cake, but the vegan crab cake. But yeah, I had like a healthy-ish plate, and then I had a bit more of a carby plate. They didn't have pizza, but they didn't really need it here because there were so many options. And I think that's the thing as well with Plaza Gardens, is you've got to know that this is coming from a vegetarian. Like, there might be a lot more offerings for you. My sister and my dad aren't vegetarian, and they both thought Plaza Gardens was the worst out of the three. Like, again, they still enjoyed it, but out of the three we all liked Downtown best, Pim second, and then Plaza Gardens third. The puddings at Pim Kitchen, they were okay. Like, I really loved the mini cheesecake. It was a kiwi cheesecake. I could have probably just got a whole plate of them really. And there was this like blue cake thing. It looked like it was a donut. Like, it looked like a massive donut, but it was actually a cake, and it's like a slice of it. So the cake itself is like normal cake colour, and then it's got blue icing, so that one I loved. The massive Oreo I thought I was going to love, but to me it didn't really taste of much. But yeah, I actually didn't try all the desserts. I look back at my vlog and I think some of them were actually, when I went up to get the desserts, they were all gone, so that's why I didn't actually eat everything that I showed, because there's a few bits I'd like to go back and try. But out of all 3 nights, the puddings here were the worst. But like I said, they were still good. There's still something, yeah, it's just that overall all of them weren't as good. But like I say, I could just get more of the things that I actually really loved. I think with a lot of the puddings, they're actually trying to focus on the way they look, like the gimmick of them, a bit more than the flavour. So again, because it's the whole things look big and the blue pin particles and things, so I think they're focusing on that a bit more than the taste. But it doesn't bother me too much because I think the way it all looks is really funny and cool. So yeah, I'd definitely eat at Pim Kitchen again. It was €45 again, including the drink. I did buy an additional drink at Pim, which was the one that you mix together, you mix the colours together. And if you saw my vlog, you'll see me try it. It was a bit expensive for what it was. It was okay flavour. In my vlog I said I wouldn't order it again, but you never know, when I'm there I might just get sucked into it all and actually buy it. Like, it wasn't a bad taste, it just tasted like a fruity Sprite. It wasn't anything outstanding, but it was a nice flavour. Out of all 3 buffets, the only one I wouldn't book again would be Plaza Gardens. Like I say, I did enjoy the food, it was the service that put me off. And I say I did enjoy the food, but out of all 3 the food was the worst. Apart from the puddings, they were really good, but the savoury options, they were the worst out of all 3. And I say I wouldn't go to Plaza Gardens again, but yeah, we might end up going. We are going next year, like I say, with my auntie, uncle and cousin, and we've gone many times with them in the past, so we'll see if they want to do it. If they do want to do it, we will do it. We just have to bear in mind, order more drinks when we arrive. But yes, I would rather just eat quick service in the main park, especially because when you do book a buffet, you've got to realise, or any meal, that your day's kind of cut short a bit because you've got to work around that booking. So quick service is a good option if you know, there's a lot you want to do in the park. So yeah, like I said, we are going next year to Disneyland Paris, and make sure to subscribe as I will be vlogging again. And we're actually going to Walt Disney World for Halloween, and we're going to be going on the Disney Fantasy for one of the Halloween cruises. It's a week-long cruise. We're going to go to Castaway Cay, so make sure you subscribe. I'll be vlogging every day, so don't miss out. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed this series. So I will see you in the next one. Stay spooky. Bye.